Welcome to the desert of the real.
Yes, I'll be very quick, Colin. How are you going to show someone 6,000 miles away when you can't show somebody 6 blocks away? Where is your model here in this country? How are you going to go to Africa?
Black achievement.
You don't
black achievement. What, do we have to keep asking these loaded questions? Are you?
No, where's the model at?
You know, it's like we're going back and forth there. We are basically putting a plan to build a consensus. You have to do something before we do. We haven't done anything yet. And we are building a consensus.
Black achievement. Can you build? Hold on, Colin, hold on a second. Black achievement. Can you build a stable building on a decrepit foundation?
No.
I want to know where his model is.
You lose
where's his model? Can you build a stable building on a decrepit foundation?
Are you suggesting that America is a decrepit foundation?
Absolutely.
I want to know where his model is. Where's his model for success?
But
absolutely.
Everybody, including the Africans, are building here.
You had 400 years. You tell me what you have in America. Every last single black community is a freaking hellhole. It's safer in Accra, Ghana than it is in even the safest black so-called communities in America. Every black community is a freaking war zone. There's more guns, drugs, AIDS, and everything. Africans are actually terrified of coming to the United States. And this is a so-called country you care about so much. You know, white people live in one country. We live in another.
Where's your model at, sir?
Where's your model?
Where's your model?
Where's
your model?
Where's yours?
Where's your model? I'm asking a question here. I'm asking a question here.
And I'm asking a question. Where's your model?
I'm asking a question for Captain Hitt, not to Mr. Holder.
Okay, fine. Black achievement. Black achievement. We as African Americans are participants in the creation of the strongest nation that has ever existed on the planet. We know about roads. We know about lights being on 24 hours a day. We know how to fly planes, command submarines. One of my Naval Academy classmates was the commander of a nuclear submarine. I've got another classmate who was the commander of a ship. I have another classmate of mine who was a commander in the SEAL teams. So we've got the experience necessary. We know we're running the government as of right now. We have plenty of people that are in the federal government from start to finish. We have people that are captains in industry. We know what it needs. We know what needs to be done to run a country because we're running a country now. Do you think that George Washington cut down trees and built the roads? I mean, in New York City, there's a cemetery dedicated to the African slaves that were buried there near Wall Street. So,
you don't have a model yet. You don't have a model.
No. What we do is we are a participant. Black achievement. Do you think that Thomas Jefferson was the only person that wrote the Constitution? We have been there at the beginning of building a nation, and that is called America. Now what we're saying is, now it's time for us to step out as a majority and go rule ourselves, and we know what to do. Black achievement. Do you think that we're going to build?
We all know what we want. We all know what to do.
Black achievement. If we're going to build buildings for ourselves in Africa, we already know building codes. We know what needs to be built.
Well, where's your building at, sir? Captain Hitt, where's your building? Where's your block?
Black achievement, man.
Black achievement.
You know, it's like this. Black achievement. Well, let me go all that. This is what I want to ask.
I'm sticking with Captain Hitt.
Hold on. This is I'm gonna put it like this. One is, we look at the fact that the 5 richest black men in the world are not rich, didn't make their money in the United States. They make their money in their own home country. That's a good model for you, isn't that right? Isn't that right, Black Achievement? Show me the equivalent of a Dangote corporation in America.
Okay, you keep talking about Nigeria.
No. Show me the black achievement
on the globe. A billionaire there means nothing.
The reason why
Say Mobutu was a billionaire.
The reason why Dangote is a billionaire and nobody you know is a billionaire is because they have the thing that everyone else that knows it takes. You have to have your own land to create wealth. That's a fundamental principle. This is dawning of mankind. Mankind, until we learn how to live in the ocean, until we learn how to live in space, if you don't have land, you have no freedom. You can't create anything. You can't make laws. You can't decide anything. Somebody else is going to decide everything over you because someone is always going to be in power no matter where you rest your head. Until we African Americans have that, we won't have that. We won't have no model, like you said, until we have our own land. Now we're saying we know that. The future is having our own land.
Can I say something?
African nationalism, Mr. Holub, is about running to Africa, okay?
No, it's not. That's what you got from that?
That's what he said. That's what he just told you. You need land.
This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about being disingenuous. This is exactly. But let me ask my question. Your model for success here in America, who is it? Where is it? Where's it at?
You're listening to him.
You're the model. Okay. That's it for me. That's it for me, fellas.
I'm not throwing no.
I'm done for the night.
I'm done for the night.
You and Carla and Thomas can take it over from here. I'm done. I'll be in the background.
Well, I mean, you can do what you want to do, brother. I recognize that we, as African Americans, as black people in this country, we have yet to establish a model that we can replicate. We can export, and you guys are sitting here saying, let's run to Africa. And I ain't going to probably run to Africa.
Black achievement.
Go ahead.
Black achievement, it ain't going to happen. That's what you don't understand. You know why it's not going to happen? Because when you have large financial institutions that to this very day, right now as we speak, still deny you an application not based on any. I got, and this is a real story. You ready for this one? I got a loan right now. This woman put $500,000 in the bank. Put another $250,000 in the bank. They are about to deny her loan because she was off the credit score requirements by 8 points. She paid off all her debt and got her credit score up within a matter of 4 days on a rapid rescore. And she still is having a problem getting a loan. With $750,000 in the bank, and she's only asking for a mortgage of $200,000. Now, you tell me where you can't get a loan at any other bank in the United States if you're the right skin color, and you have 3 times the amount of the mortgage in order to get a loan. Please tell me that.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Or how about the fact that right now in the United States there's still active litigation going on because of redlining in over 20 different cities. Oh, how about the fact that? How about the fact that all the rural development financing and loans that are supposed to be available to people in rural communities, that basically, has been many incidents, even before, that whole, incident with that lady Sherrod, when she made her comments, those people still have a difficult time getting loans, even if you have someone so-called black and successful in power.
Okay. Black farmers still haven't got compensated for their
I'm with you. Okay.
What is it going to take for you? When is it really sink in that you don't have a fucking chance in this country? If you really think these motherfuckers are going to let you get anything close to the equivalent of having some type of real wealth, when you have the largest black bank in the United States that is about to fold the fuck up because they can't get enough funding and they got less than 50 cents per share, and they're on the pink sheets about to fold up.
Right.
And we, as a so-called about 13% of the U.S. population, but we don't even own 1
I agree.
of the wealth of the country. What more empirical evidence do you need that it's not going to happen?
I don't know what you're going to take from Black achievement to understand that.
What more do you need to know? Just like I said, why is it that a decade later, that dude down in Florida, Peebles, right? A decade later, he's still stagnated at $300 million in net worth.
Right.
Why is Oprah, after almost a half a decade, still stagnated at $2 billion in net worth? Just like on the continent, Aliko Dangote and Mahmoud Moody, within the course of probably about the past 5 years, they've almost quadrupled their net worth. What does that tell you? Just mathematically speaking, what does that tell you? Wouldn't that tell you that the probability is higher that if you have your own land and infrastructure, political and economic infrastructure, that you probably have higher odds of success? Do you really think that these people are going to give up the reins of power? Or share in it? See, this is what you don't understand. Europeans think and how Europeans think. Europeans think like this. They don't want to share anything. And you can't say you're going to take anything because you don't have the power to take anything.
They have no sense of justice.
You can only get the scraps off the table and be their lapdog forever.
The bottom line, Black achievement, what you're hoping for is scrap. Right now, Black people in America. Let me give you an example. Harry Belafonte gets up there and says, you know something? He's 84 years old. He ain't got much time left on this earth. Can you imagine being 84 years old after all the stuff he did, after you ran your mouth and talked about all this, he's been around the world, and the only thing he had to look forward to was the fact that he was up at Tatiana LA and said, we're disturbed about the images of Black people in the media and stuff like that. Well, geez, Harry, what do you think? He really thought America was going to change in his lifetime? And the bottom line, Black Jimmy, you're going to be 84 years old, and you're going to be like, dang, man. Same freaking thing.
Okay.
The 84
listen. No, Kyler, better yet, right? Here's what they think. They basically believe what the conservatives are telling them that, socially you will become accepted. So by that time it's going to be the year 2500 and we'll all have evolved into beings of ether. Well, in about the year 2500 AD, we'll evolve into beings of ether, and so therefore, we'll be a truly colorblind and tasteless society, and therefore it won't matter at that point.
We do this. Black Achievement gave me his strategy. He said, if we did this in 100 years, I think we'll start making some progress. So.
Listen, Colin. I'm going to give you a simple math equation. Let's say I snap my fingers and every dude in the hood shaved his head, got rid of any hairstyle that was not appealing to Caucasians. Let's say every one of them went to school, went ahead and got degrees in engineering and biology and chemistry and went to med school. Let's say every chick decides she's not going to have a kid out of wedlock. Let's say every one of these things happen tomorrow. You still wouldn't have no fucking jobs.
Captain Hitt.
Like I said, if you go back to the 80s when they came out with the Laffer curve in the 80s, that bullshit that said if you trickle down all the wealth from the top, because if you cut the tax rates, you're going to increase revenue. And just like, this whole thing with the bond rating, that was a purely political move. The two other bond rating agencies went ahead and reaffirmed the debt, right? So they basically are trying to force, quote-unquote, austerity, which means they want to cut the social programs and everything else. It's purely political, right? The numbers don't suggest that there's anywhere close to the default. Japan's debt to GDP ratio is higher than the United States right now than what they're saying is going to be 5 years from now, their projection. So all this is a bunch of bullshit. All this is a bunch of numbers that they're fabricated. Even if you did everything right, even if you learned 6 languages, you still have no fucking job.